Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Welcome everyone once again, and as we were discussing about the scripture and we were discussing about the qualities of Shri Rama and how we could adapt those qualities in our lives, and discussing about those qualifications, about those good qualities, we were proceeding towards various verses, and the verse that we were understanding in the previous conversation, it said, Sacha sarva gunopetaha kausalyanand vardhana samudra iva gambhirye dhairyena himavaniva. So it says that Sri Rama, is the promoter of the happiness of his mother. I mean, any mother who has this kind of great son, how could not she be the most happiest, the happiest mother on the earth? When we talk about mother, her first and foremost wish remains in her son, that her son becomes an able person, her son becomes a successful person, a noble person. And we see all these qualities, all these good things that could be seen in a human body. Everything we see in Sri Rama, and that's how he gladdens his mother. He gives comfort to his mother, and that's what is described in the scripture. And so from here we gain this teaching that we too should, if not for anybody else, at least think for your parents, at least think for them who have raised you. And when we think about the other people that are directly or indirectly connected with our lives, whose lives can be influenced with whatever we do in our lives, then we sort of go away, we sort of fall, we sort of move apart from doing any type of bad activities. That's why it is said that always think for the people that live with you, because their lives, directly or indirectly, are connected with your lives. Whatever you do is gonna have repercussions, and it can also yield happiness to all those people. So here we get the example. Here Sri Rama's life becomes an example and teaching to us that whatever we do, we do it in the best way possible. And in the next line, the sage is saying, Samudra iva gambhirye, and he is so much serious, in his activities, in his doings, in his behaviors, that like an ocean, whenever we see an ocean, we see tides and waves in its upper part on the surface. But as we go down deep below the ocean, deep under the ocean, deep into the ocean, what we see, there is calmness, there is just still water, there is no sound. And if we go quite deep, we would find no sunlight, nothing, just darkness, just calmness. That's how Sri Rama's interior self is. Well, in the outside, we'd see him doing all these worldly tasks, all these works that are involved with his body. He would do everything that are require this bodily presence. And on the other hand, he is completely calm in his interior self, in his inner self. And that's how a person could act in a great manner, if he is completely calm and peaceful in nature. And that appears, that thing starts kindling in you, starts generating in you when you are attached with something that harnesses, that activates that thing. So if you want calmness, you'd have to go through the practice of meditation. You have to go through the practices of several yogas, and this is the way you could gain peacefulness and calmness in yourselves. And the more you are in yourself, the more you are situated, the more you are in peaceful condition in yourself, the more you'd be able to present yourself in any work, in any outside work that you do. And that's why we see Sri Rama is just, he stands the first person of the entire line in whatever work he does. This is the way. The more you are fit in yourself, the more you are fit in your inner selves, the more you are situated in your inner self, in that amount you'd be able to serve this nature, to work in this nature, to behave in this nature a better way. That's why this quality of Sri Rama has been discussed here, that he is just calm and peaceful like the deep ocean. And on the surface, every worldly thing appears. You could see in Sri Rama's life. He helps people. He runs his kingdom. When it is required, he fights the wars with demons, and he helps humanity. He helps mankind in all the possible ways. So he does everything in his life, but remaining calm in himself. And in the next line, next part of the line, the sage is saying, Dhairyena Himavan Iva. His patience is compared to Himalayas. We see Himalayas are so much, they have so much height. Mount Everest is so much high. So Sri Rama's life is compared, the patience in Sri Rama's life, the height of the patience in Sri Rama's life is compared to that Everest, to Himalayas. That he is so much patient that even Himalayas they feel themselves inferior in front of Sri Rama's patience. Sri Rama's patience dwarfs even Himalayas, and that's how the sage is presenting his patience in here. So we too have patience in ourselves, and this is the thing, this is the entire process that these scriptures teach us, that we should have energy, we should have brightness, we should have a blaze like fire, we should have and on the other hand, we should have coolness like water, we should have speed like air, and our life should have this patience like this earth, like Himalayas. We pour all these bad things on this earth, but the patience of the earth, you see, we pour fertilizers, pesticides, and if not anything, we just pet on earth, and this mother earth is nurturing and nourishing everyone. So this entire nature is a teacher, and the condition, the thing that we require to have is openness, is opening of our hearts, so that we could absorb all the teachings that nature tries to teach us. And so this entire nature, every day, every moment, is teaching us something. All the elements of this nature, all the components of this nature, all the molecules of nature are directly or indirectly connected to every one of us and influence our lives in all the possible ways only when we are attached to this nature, when we are open to this nature, when we open the knot of our hearts to this nature. So Sri Rama, is said that everything we see, somewhere he is compared to ocean, somewhere is compared to Himalayas, somewhere he's compared to many different things. In the coming verses, he'll be compared to moon and sun. So these all are the things that represent nature. Moon, sun, earth, all these planets, oceans, trees, and Himalayas, mountains, all these things are the components of nature. And our life is just aggregated form of all these things. We have everything in ourselves, and all these things are teaching us to expand that quality in ourselves. We have all the qualities of nature in ourselves, and every single component of nature teaches us to uplift that quality that it gives us, that it teaches us. And when we do so, we no longer remain a normal person. We become a greater person, an uplifted person, as we see our ancestors, as we see our idols, Sri Rama. In the next line, the sage is saying in the next verse, the first line is like this: Vishnuna Sadrisho Virye Somavat Priyadarshanaha. In courage, determination, resolution, perseverance, whatever you say, tenacity, grit, and resolution, Sri Rama is compared to Vishnu. And the first, I think, in the first conversations, in some of the first conversations, I said that Vishnu is the one who maintains this universe. And to maintain this universe, that it runs efficiently without any obstacle, it's a very hard job. And only Vishnu, this power of God, this Vishnu power of God does this. And so this courage of Sri Rama, the resilience of Sri Rama, the perseverance of Sri Rama is compared to the powers of Vishnu. So the sage is saying that he can be compared to Vishnu when it comes to running the kingdom, when it comes to following Dharma, when it comes to helping every person on his earth, on his kingdom. So his courage is compared to Vishnu. He never gets scared by something, by anything. And this is one thing we should always take in mind. We should always be scared of adharma. That means not following dharma. We should always get scared of the repercussions, the consequences if we would not follow dharma. And we should always think of the pleasure, the comfort, the happiness that we would get if we follow good path, right path, righteous path. So here, Sri Rama is a courageous, and all these things, when we follow dharma, we would surely become courageous person. Because whenever you'd see, person only gets fear only when he has committed some type of crime, only when he has disdained the laws of nature. And why otherwise these criminals would bolt away from police, from authorities, from officials, from government officials? Because they are fearful. They got scared that we did wrong thing, and now if we are caught, our entire life will just go into incarceration. We would be incarcerated for our entire lives. So that's why any bad work gives fearfulness, and any good work gives courage. From this line, we could deduce that Sri Rama is a courageous person. And what is the generator of this courage? What is the thing that makes him a courageous person? His ability, his oath to follow Dharma, his oath to follow the rules and regulations of nature. And that's how we could become courageous people. It could never fall into negativity. We see today people falling into negativity. And the one route to bring them to positivity is always maintain the root of goodness. Always maintain the freeway of good practices, noble practices, and never follow these evil paths. And that's how you'd gain energy. You'd be a courageous person. You'd be a person who has power in him, who has strength in him. And this is the quality of Sri Rama. And in the next line, next part of this line, sage is describing Rama as Somavat Priyadarshana. He is just cold. He is just calm like the moonlight. The sunlight has energy in it. It has photons in it. It has brightness and heat in itself. But the moonlight is so much soothing. On the clear moonlight, in a clear full moon day, we would feel the soothing calmness of moon. So his nobility, the life of Sri Rama is completely opposite in different things. In one hand, he has the power of sun, he has the blaze of sunlight, and in the other hand, he has the calmness and soothing abilities of moonlight. So this opposite abilities, opposite qualities, we should always acquire all these opposite qualities in our life. As I said before, we should have power and energy like fire. On the other hand, we should have coldness like water. In one hand, we should have speed like air, and just on the other hand, we should have patience like earth. All these components of nature teach us the same thing. So we see this life, the qualities of Sri Rama are just this way. He acquires opposite qualities, and when our life is encased with opposite qualities, we could do any work we require to do, we are asked to do, because every work requires different abilities. And when we are uplifted in all these different abilities, when we are proactively working to gain all these abilities, then we could easily gain a speed. We could easily gear up for any type of activity that we are asked to do. So Sri when he is given the kingdom, he said, all right, I'd be the king of this kingdom and rule this entire kingdom in a well manner. And in the next hand, just he has said that no, you'd not be handed kingdom, you'd be handed over 14 years of exile. And then we see his face never screws up, we see his face never puckered. Nothing petrifies him, nothing puts negativity in his life. Why? Because he acquires all these qualities. He acquires all the qualities to live every type of life, whether it be life of king, or whether it be the life of monk, whether it be life in kingdom, whether it be the life in forest, whether it be the life of eating good things, or whether it be the life of eating fruits and vegetables present in forests. So he is prepared for all sorts of challenges in lives. So how does these qualities come in a human being? By practicing all these qualities. Only practicing all these qualities could give you the power to face all these circumstances in life. And we see Sri Rama has faced all these circumstances only because he had acquired all these qualities. And how did he acquire these qualities? By practicing. This is the way, this is the route, this is the right path towards acquiring all these qualities. And we should have these qualities. This is the basic property, this is a basic thing that our entire body tries to achieve. And in the next line, Sage is saying, Kalagni sadrishaha krodhe kshamaya prithvi samaha. When he gets angry, he is the second form of death. Whenever a person who is following a good path, a righteous path, whenever he gets angry, that means he is not angry on any silly thing. That type of person only gets angry when the evil thing has crossed its limits, when the evil thing has crossed its threshold, when it's overflowing from the vessel, when it is filled to the brim. Only that time this person shows his anger and defeats all type of evil that are present in front of him. Like he just defeated and pulverized Ravana. Why? Because Ravana had committed many evil things. When Sri Rama appeared in front of him, Ravana couldn't survive the anger of Sri Rama. So he has the anger like death-defying anger. His anger, no one could stand, no one could take his anger. And same hand, Kshamaya Prithvi Sama, when it comes to forgiving people, he is compared to Mother Earth. So his ability to forgive people is compared with Earth. As I said before, we put so many things, so many fertilizers, pesticides, we just do anything on this earth. But Earth forgives us every day, every moment, whatever we do. Doesn't matter what we do on this earth. So he has the forgiveness of Mother Earth. And in the next verse, Sage is saying, Dhanena, Dhanadena, Samastyage, Satya Dharma Ivaparaha. When he comes to giving alms to people, he could give whatever he has. So it also teaches us that we should be helpful to people who need some help, whether it be the help by money, whether it be help of education. Yes, help doesn't only mean that we help people by money. We can help the poor students by educating them, by teaching them. We can help anyone, any sick person, by giving him proper medical treatments from hospitals. We can help a person, a hungry person, by giving him some food to eat. So there are so many aspects of helping people. And when we see this person, this entity, Sri Rama, he is helping everyone in all the possible ways. Whenever he sees, he watches someone needy in any sense. And Satya Dharma Ivapara, he is the greatest person who follows his Dharma. He keeps Dharma, he keeps truth, he keeps humanity above all. Doing all the activities, doing all the works of life. When we put humanity above everything, then whatever work we do would become a pure work, would become a divine work. Because whenever our work is mingled with humanity, then we would do no such work that any way disdains humanity, that any way gives pain to any creature, any component of this nature. So this thing, this ideology that doing every work we should maintain, doing every work we should be connected with humanity, this thing. And when we do our duties, our works, our actions on this earth, maintaining and understanding and keeping in our mind that humanity is above all, that whatever we do would become a peaceful work, would become a work to uplift everybody, not a single part of society, that would uplift every part of this nature, of this surrounding of our society. And these were the qualities of Sri Rama, and now the story is tending towards some other part, some other way, and in which Sri Sage is saying that this type of personality which Sri Rama acquires, now Sri Rama's father, King Dasharatha, is on the way to make Sri Rama the king of Ayodhya. And what happens after that? He says, the sage is saying, it's just like a blueprint. All these chapters are just giving an outlook of the scripture. What is the scripture like? So in the chapters that we see afterwards, we would understand Rama's life in a more classified way, in a more explained manner. But here, the sage is giving just a blueprint of all those activities that would take place in the afterward chapters. The sage is saying that this like Sri Rama, who has all these qualities in himself, and now his father, King Dasharatha, is on the way to make Sri Rama the king of Ayodhya. And after that, what happens? His mother Kaikeyi comes up and prays to Dasharatha to give her those boons that he had granted her, and how Sri Rama, who was on the verge of becoming king, and now he is sent to exile, into exile for 14 years, and along with him, Sita and his brother Lakshmana also go into forest and spend their 14 years of exile in forest. And during those exile years, how he fights Ravana and defeats all the demonic, all the malevolent forces that were pervading those times. We would study all these things in the next class. And in today's class, as we understood, as we learn that whatever we do, our epicenter of all of our works should be humanity, should be helping people, should be helping nature in all the ways possible. And when we do any work having this thought, having this feeling in ourselves, then whatever work we would do, that would become a work which helps this nature in every ways. This is our sort of duty, this is our sort of purpose of life. This is the humanity. This way we could show and we could shower our humanity on this entire nature, on every molecules, on every elements, on every components of nature.